Hello musicians. Today we have a classic for some, Pancho and Lefty, which is a great song that some of you might know. It was written by Zandt, wonderful songwriter, and died quite young tragically, so left us this wonderful song that tells a story. So we're in the key of G. And there's a few things that I wanted to talk about before we get started on the actual song. You'll see along the top, the song chart is in the description box linked. And then they're showing you that we're in the key of G, but that you could do it in the key of C. It's saying the original is in the key of C and the chords that you would correspondingly use. So they're the 1, so G, in this case we're playing in the key of G. G is 1, and then D, so G, A, B, C is the 5. And then you have an E minor, which is a 6. So if you counted from G, you'd get up to the E, and it's a minor chord. And then the C, which is the 4th from G. So it's a 1, 4, 5, 6. So I'm in tune, and I've done my check-in. Nice and relaxed. Notes, ukulele standard tuning. Key of C. So in terms of your practice, you've got held, like we've talked about, you're building your fret hand strength, and then the moving between the chords in terms of how they occur in the song, we're a G, and then I'm going to go up to the D. I'm going to go this way. You could bar it like that if you wanted to. And then next comes a C, pretty easy to get to, and then we're back to the G, to the D, and then the E minor comes along later. Now what I noticed in this chart, and you'll find, so this is a good exercise, you'll find different ones on the internet, that the chords that I changed and used whiteout to change had been for some reason dropped down by a semitone. So when you see the C was whited out, they actually had a B flat in there. But other than that, I couldn't find it in the key of G, which I wanted, so I just made those changes. And D's had been dropped down to C's, but only in those areas. So you will find stuff like that. Not everything that you find is going to be exactly accurate, and you can just make your changes. The one word that I changed, the desert, I know that one. There might be some other slight discrepancies in there. So let's do a bit of a vocal warm-up and keep on with our music theory learning. So C, nice moderate tone, la, and feel that through your whole body and the vibration of the instrument, la. Now the first chord that we're going to be starting with when we're singing is G. So the note that we're playing there is a part of the G chord that we're going to sing is a D note, and it's found there on the C string. Living la. So let's sing the D note. La. And then we'll go to open C. La. And then a D note. And you can just press the one. You don't have to do all of them. La. And that's so C. La. La. And then an E, which would be part of a C chord that we're going to end up playing. Anyways, just so that you know that the notes that you're playing in the chords mesh musically with the melody that you're singing, which are just other notes, and they all come together. So various people have covered this wonderful song. I know that Emmylou Harris does a beautiful cover. Hoyt Axton and Jerry Jeff Walker, I think, also do a great cover. So I'm just going to do a simple down strum because you're sight reading to start. Loose wrist, 2, 3, 4. I'm not doing the intro chords, but you could do a bar of each of those. And I'm just pedaling on that. Living on the road, my friend. Gonna keep you free and clean. Now you skin like iron, your breath's as hard as kerosene. You weren't your mama's only boy, but a favorite one it seems. She began to cry. Now there's a bit of a timing issue here in terms of 1 beat per chord coming up on that C. Said goodbye, 2, 3, and then a bar of D. And well, that occurs a bunch more. So, and sank into your dream tune. verse. Pancho was a bandit boy. His horse as fast as polished steel. He wore his gun outside his pants for all the honest world to feel. Pancho, and then there's that word change. Desert down in Mexico, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. No, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the way it goes to. Then they're going to that G. You wouldn't have to do that at the end of each bar if you didn't. Now we're chorus. All the federalists say could have had him any day. They only let him hang around. There's that same quick change. 1, 2, 3, out of kindness, I suppose. Then you go back to that third verse. Lefty, he can sing the blues all night long like he used to do. The dust that Pancho bit down south ended up in Lefty's mouth. The day they laid poor Pancho low, Lefty split for Ohio. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Ain't nobody know. Chorus. All the federalists say you could have had him any day. They only let him go so long. Same chord progression and timing. Out of kindness, I suppose, then to the G. Poets tell how Pancho fell. Lefty's living in a cheap hotel. Desert's quiet and Cleveland's cold, and so the story ends, I'm told. Pancho needs your prayers, it's true, but save a few for Lefty too. He only did what he had to do and now he's growing old. Chorus. All the federalists say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. 1, 2, 3, out of kindness, I suppose. A few great federalists say they could have had him any day. They only let him go so long. 3, 4, 1, 2, out of kindness, I suppose. So yeah, there's that repeating chord pattern, that timing. So you've got that on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. You're on an E minor. 2, 3, and then you got to get that. So C, D, and then up to D. E minor. Sorry, C, G, C, G, D, and then you got another full bar of D, and so it's a good workout switching between the G and the E minor and the D, which can be sometimes challenging for people, and you can just practice going over them without doing any strumming, so moving between the chords, so going to the G, then move up to the D, down to the C, over to the E minor, and just do that a bunch, moving your fingers. You could just be watching a program or something and just get that time in moving and positioning those fingers. So eventually I would probably be doing that modified shuffle. So down, 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 up. Oh, that's a calypso. That would work. Or modified shuffle. Living on the road, my friend, gonna keep it clean, clean. Now you wear your skin like So either if you wanted to work on a calypso strum on that, or the modified shuffle, and you can just notice that on this chart it doesn't have the little images of the chords and pictures of where you position your fingers, and you can add that if you want. Sometimes by this time you've already got that figured out, but if you want those on there, just draw your little picture and then fill in the dots, or put your chord chart up next to that. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. If you have, please like, share, and subscribe, and go and have a listen to some of the great covers that have been done of this song. And yeah, I hope it gets you playing, and I will see you on my next video. Bye for now.